I wanted to bring a huge issue up, and what I mean by huge issues, I think that if we come to a point where we're having to eat out of the garden or what we forage for, it could be detrimental to a lot of people if they do not start working right now. So I not only believe that we should be getting our houses in order at the moment, but we need to be getting our gut in order too, like literally. When you get to the point when you realize how many people cannot digest simple fruits and vegetables, or they're allergic to the basic foundational foods, you begin to realize just how bad things could get if those processed foods were no longer available to our population. Now, understand about 60% of Americans rely on processed food in their diet. And when I talk about processed foods, I'm talking about boxed meals, lunch meat, cured meat, things that have added sugar, additives, dyes, things along those lines. And so while I'm talking, I'm just going to say, if you walk into my house, you're probably going to find processed food. You're going to find processed food in a majority of households across America. And I wanted to discuss the impact that it has had on our digestive systems. So if you've had a little bit of biology, you'll understand that our digestive system has its own ecosystem that's made up of enzymes and microbes that help us to digest our food. So here's the problem, is that when we're not eating and taking in those things that these microbes need, they're going to die out. It was really interesting. There was some research done on some ancient people from about 1,000 to 2,000 years ago who, lived the hunter-gatherer rural type of lifestyle. So they were eating plenty of fruits and vegetables. They found that they contain a microbe that would break down cellulose. So this was big news because for a long time, scientists thought that the human body did not contain a microbe that could break down cellulose, which is what plant cells are made up of. Unfortunately, it's because that they rarely found this microbe in modern man's digestive system. And so the impact that it has on us is that if we do not have that microbe in our digestive system, we're not going to be able to break down those fruits and vegetables and absorb the nutrients that our body needs, the minerals, the vitamins, and things like that are essential for our bodies to function. And it just really showed the researchers how much the decline of our digestive system and the impact that processed food has had on our lifestyles. In talking about this, Hippocrates was coined for saying that all disease starts in the gut. 45% of Americans have a chronic disease. Those who are dealing with heart disease, strokes, or diabetes, about nearly half of them, that's diet related. Nothing else, no other impact on that, simply diet. And I'm going to step back and I'm going to take it a little bit more personally. There are some things that you can do to help your gut. I had to stop eating gluten for about a year, gluten and dairy, and that has really, really helped me. And I was one of those people that had to introduce certain enzymes back into my digestive system to break down certain things. I was one of those people. Here's the problem, is there's a lot of people who are taking pre and probiotics and maybe even some enzymes to help with their digestive system. But the thing is they're not changing their diets to correlate with taking those probiotics. And so if you're taking probiotics and not taking and eating the things that you need for those probiotics to survive, then you're really just throwing away your money. And so we really need to step back and we need to think and look at food as medicine, not simply something for enjoyment, not something for an entertainment, but for medicine. And so I want you to start thinking about a few things and just realizing the impact that processed food has had on the American body, and maybe even just you as individuals. You will start, if you do a few of these things that I'm talking about, I would be surprised if there was no difference in your health overall. So the first thing that I'm going to suggest is to cut out processed foods altogether. Now, I know that it's a big convenience to have, I'm trying to get out of the sun, to have those processed foods around. But we have so prioritized convenience that has been a detriment to our health and our lifestyles in general. So, again, take it slow. If you have never cooked a homemade meal before, start simple. If you have never cooked from scratch before, start simple. But I would start. Number 2, like I just said a few minutes ago, look at food as medicine. Your mindset changes when you start looking at things as medicine. You will want to, eat better. You'll want to drink water. You'll want to cut out all those sugary drinks, all that stuff that has a huge impact on your health. Change your mindset. Number 3, cut out sugars. This is a hard one for a lot of people because sugar is more addictive than cocaine. That doesn't surprise me whatsoever. So again, that's another one that you can take slowly. I would highly suggest that you take it slowly. But do everything in your effort to cut that sugar out of your life. Another one is eat out less and eat at home more. And again, prioritize homemade meals from scratch over things that you're going to buy at the fast food restaurant. Fried foods is a huge part of the standard American diet, and it's terrible for you. Very bad. And I love my fried stuff just as much as anybody else. But we need to make sure that we are, cutting it back or cutting it completely out of our diet. And the last thing that I'm going to suggest is the quality of your food. Be aware of what is in your food, where it comes from, where it originates, things like that. Just be aware of what it is. Create a relationship with your food, if that makes sense. It will change your health for the better if you look at these steps, these suggestions that I have for you. It may even, and again, this is not health advice. I'm not a doctor. Go to your doctor if you want to change your diet, add supplements, be smart about that. But you can make diet changes that will impact those chronic illnesses or health issues that you have. So those are just some suggestions and some things to think about. And I would be getting things in order right now, your house in order and your gut in order, in case that you're going to have to rely on some other things other than processed food.